Everybody. Thank you for hanging in. We've got a couple of slight technical difficulties going on here at the home studio, so hopefully you can hear everything, and we'll proceed normally from here. But welcome. It's me, Miss Nancy, and we're doing PJ Story Time tonight. Let's see, we've got our usual peanut gallery, and tonight we have some artwork from my friend Julia, inspired by some of our books that we're going to be reading tonight. And so she drew these up for us, and pretty soon we're going to be starting our stories. But before we do, I just wanted to say that the folks from the Penguin Publishing Group and Houghton Mifflin have given us permission to do story time free of charge, with no royalties that we have to pay for reading you any of these books today on the line. So without further ado, I think what we'll do is we'll start with our Open Shut Them song. So here we go. Open, shut them, open, shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them, lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them, right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open up your little mouth, but do not let them in. So welcome, everybody. Let's see, we have a few books here tonight, but I think I'm going to start off with a poem. And I found this poem. I thought it was inspired. And it's written by Bill Martin Jr. and Michael Sampson. And it's called Once Upon a Time. The storyteller came to town to share his gifts sublime. Tell it again, storyteller, tell it again. Once upon a time. Tell it again, storyteller, tell it again. Doors flew open to him, kings begged him not to part, and children tucked his stories in the pockets of their heart. Tell it again, storyteller, tell it again. Once upon a time. Tell it again, storyteller, tell it again. He told of scary ghosts and of witches who became toast, of knights of old and outlaws bold. Oh, once upon a time. Tell it again, storyteller, tell it again. So that's a really nice poem, and it reminded me of a book that I heard over and over again when I was a kid. And I think it's an old favorite, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm sure many of you have heard it before. It is called Green Eggs and Ham. And as you can see, we have our green eggs and ham picture drawn by Miss Julia. And this is a book written by Dr. Seuss. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam, I am. That Sam I am, that Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Not in a box, not with a fox. Not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Could you in a car? Eat them, here they are. I would not, could not in a car. Oh, let me make sure I got that right. Yeah. You may like them, you will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not, could not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. A train, a train, a train, a train. Could you, would you, on a train? Well, he may not like them, but I think Honey Bear does. Honey Bear, we have to get down now. Oh, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll hear more from Honey Bear later. Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I would not, could not in a box. I would not, could not with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Say, in the dark? Here in the dark. Would you, could you in the dark? I would not, could not in the dark. Would you, could you in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain, not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. Could you, would you with a goat? I would not, could not with a goat. Would you, could you on a boat? I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. You do not like them, so you say. Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them, you will see. say, I like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, Sam, I am. And I would eat them in a boat, and I would eat them with a goat. And I will eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a train, and in a car, and in a tree. They are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with a fox, and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a mouse. I will eat them here and there. Say, I will eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam, I am. And that is the story of green eggs and ham. That's an oldie but goodie, and a lot of you know it. And I hope you enjoy hearing it again. Let's see, I have another poem, and this one is a little different. And it's called If I Were in Charge of the World. And I think a lot of you guys are going to like this one because it's pretty silly. Just like green eggs and ham is pretty silly, this poem is pretty silly too. But it's written by Judith Viorst. She's another children's author who wrote great books like Alexander and the No Good, Terrible, Horrible, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, and all of the Alexander books, among other things. But anyway, this is her poem, and it's called If I Were in Charge of the World. If I were in charge of the world, I'd cancel oatmeal, Monday mornings, allergy shots, and also Sarah Steinberg. If I were in charge of the world, there'd be brighter nightlights, healthier hamsters, and basketball baskets 48 inches lower. If I were in charge of the world, you wouldn't have lonely, you wouldn't have clean, you wouldn't have bedtimes, or don't punch your sister. You wouldn't even have sisters. If I were in charge of the world, a chocolate sundae with whipped cream and nuts would be a vegetable. All 007 movies would be rated G. And a person who sometimes forgot to brush and sometimes forgot to flush would still be allowed to be in charge of the world. If I Were in Charge of the World by Judith Viorst. So we're doing so much poetry because it is still April and it is still National Poetry Month. And coincidentally, all of our books this evening rhyme. Doesn't make them necessarily poetry, but they are rhyming books. And our next book is called Snowmen at Night. And this is written by Carolyn Buhner, one of my favorite children's authors. I have so many favorites, though, as you all know. What's happening here? He's making his snowman. One wintry day I made a snowman very round and tall. The next day when I saw him, he was not the same at all. His hat had slipped, his arms drooped down, he really looked a fright. It made me start to wonder, what do snowmen do at night? I think that snowmen start to slide when it gets really dark. Off the lawn and down the street and right into the park. They gather in a circle while they wait for all the others, sipping cups of ice-cold cocoa made by snowman mothers. Then snowman games begin. They line up in their places, each one anxious for his turn in the snowman races. After everyone has had a chance at racing once or twice, they go on over to the pond to do skating tricks on ice. Sometimes they start giggling, and then they act like clowns. They bump into each other till they all fall down. They gather up their snowballs, the pitcher takes his aim, and underneath the moonlit sky, they play a baseball game. No one knows how it started, but soon it's quite a sight, with snowmen throwing snowballs in the world's best snowball fight. Then it's time for sledding. It's a wild ride down the hill. Wahoo! They yell. This is by far the snowman's biggest thrill. Finally, they're tuckered out and getting sleepy, so they slowly gather up their things, and one by one they go. So, if your snowman's grin is crooked, or he's lost a little height, you'll know he's just been doing what snowmen do at night. And she's dedicated this to Jay and Chris, our surreptitious snowman shifters. And there's our last page. Who's that? And that is Snowmen at Night by Carolyn Buhner. So for our next poem, hello again. So for our next poem, and our last poem actually, it is called So Many Nights by Margaret Wise Brown. You may know her as the author of Goodnight Moon. So many nights, blue nights, brown nights, and the sudden lights in deep black skies of stars and cars and airplanes, and soft gray nights when it rains, and blue nights with a foggy moon smoking in the trees, and pink and red nights above great cities, and silver nights all filled with stars, and misty nights when a night mist drifts and lifts over the white-topped fields, and purple nights beyond the lights of your own room, and blue snowy nights, and night that is just dark, bright night. And that is called So Many Nights by Margaret Wise Brown. Our last book tonight was given to me by our friend Sandy, and it's called If I Were a Kangaroo by Melissa Larson. If I were a kangaroo, I'd pick you up and carry you in my pocket, sleepyhead, and hop you gently off to bed. If I were a giant whale, I'd sing you songs, slow epic tales. Fin to fin, down in the deep, we'd drift together into sleep. If you were a chick, my dear, I'd cluck a cozy "we're all here," close my wing roof overhead to make a rustling feather bed. Squirrels cuddle in a heap, swaying in their nest asleep. If we slept in that nest up high, the wind would sing our lullaby. If you were a small giraffe, my little spotted knob-kneed calf, we'd nap together standing tall, rarely lying down at all. Feet above, head down below, bats sleep upside down, you know. If we were bats at end of day, we'd just be waking up to play. If you were a little otter, side by side we'd ride the water on a sea that never ends, in a raft made up of friends. If I were a mommy spider, you would be a spider rider, resting with your sisters, brothers, legs next to each other. Mom gorillas build a nest where babies snuggle up to rest. If we were them, we'd curl up tight and dream gorilla dreams all night. But you're not fish, nor bug, nor bird, so hush now, not another word. I'll count your fingers and your toes and kiss you gently on your nose. Then tuck you in and hug you tight and whisper, I love you. Good night. And that is the bedtime story, If I Were a Kangaroo. And now, before we all turn in tonight, we're going to do our goodbye song. And we'll do just a quick review of our signs. And we're going to wave goodbye. And here's the sign for friends. Just crook your fingers like that. That's friends. And then we're going to say that it's time to say, we point to our lips, goodbye. Okay, so the song goes like this. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.